The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
So smooth. Let's talk about it. Taylor Cooper here with an all-new episode of Let's Talk About It, exclusively on the Might Be News Network. With me this week, two very hilarious, knowledgeable, handsome.
What about Alex?
Incredible individuals. The hosts of Shmoe Radio, Ian Draper, Alex Lyons. What's up, guys?
What up, baby?
How you guys doing?
Hi.
Shmoe Radio. Available everywhere. Tell everybody where it's at.
You can check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and I'm missing one here.
Buzzsprout, Spotify, iTunes.
Buzzsprout, Shmoe Radio.
Facebook. Get your Facebooks up.
Hey, you can check out our Facebook page like that. JoShmoeRadio.buzzsprout.com. You can find us. If you follow our Facebook page, I always include the link to the new episode.
So this is going to be. I was your first guest on your first episode.
That's what was so cool about this.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Alex, you've been here before. You've been on the show a couple times, including the infamous internet blackout first season that we can't play because we used unauthorized music, and it's fine because we talked a whole bunch of politics, which we're probably going to do today.
We also talked about spiders killing people.
We did. Yeah, we did on that specific episode. Yeah, there was something about like
we had it was very funny.
They said that if like spiders work together, they could just eat everybody on the planet Earth.
Every single person in a year.
If they like
Eight-legged freaks. Have you
if
seen
they,
Eight-legged freaks with what's his name?
yeah,
Courtney Cox's what's his name? David Arquette.
yeah. But like if they decided to, that they could just destroy everybody, just eat us all.
Yeah.
They don't even have to get big like
together.
that. They don't even have to get big like that. They could just be the little ones, and if they work together.
This is the one you can't air.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
But,
you know what sucks about our first episode, man? You couldn't hear me in it.
No, I couldn't hear you at all.
I changed the audio to it, but on iTunes, it's still the same audio. Like if you go to our Buzzsprout feed, it's not.
I don't even know if maybe it's people with Android phones because I even asked the people.
The way you look right now, I'm so glad that you're not in that episode. Ian's wearing my sunglasses.
These are yours? I thought they were his wife's.
No, they're mine. No, I wear women's sunglasses because they're big and
They are
bug-eyed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I like that. It's Kurt Cobain style, baby.
It's nice.
Yep.
It's a nice touch.
But he looks like a fucking rock star over here.
That's what I'm going for.
But you guys run. You just started a podcast a few months ago, Shmoe Radio. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your show? What do you guys like to talk about? What are some of the guests that you've had on aside from me? Tell us about Shmoe Radio.
I think a cool little backstory.
You're the only guest we ever had on, man.
Yep.
Nobody likes the show.
I think cool little backstory. Alex and I, prior to 6-7 months ago, haven't talked in 12 years. We bullshitted on Facebook, jokes here and there.
Last time I really talked to Ian, like face to face, was 05 senior week. He graduated a year before me. I graduated 06. We went down to senior week together. We just bummed it the whole fucking week. Me and another man that we went with had sex. It's like, no, I'm playing.
Wait, all right. Let me
The
run
way
back.
I said that, I had to say that at the end of it. But no, me and another dude that we were with broke into the hotel next to the hotel we were in and stole a fucking VCR in 2005, man.
Wow.
What's his first name? Start with a B.
I can't remember who it
Anyway.
was. Somebody did it with me, but then we tried to pawn it off down the street. They're like, I'll give you like $2. It was a fucking VCR. Like, who the fuck steals a VCR?
All right, so that was the last time we saw each other. So it was memorable. But yeah, and again, this was 7-8 months ago. I actually wanted to start a podcast by myself. It was in the infancy stages of the idea, and then out of the blue, he messaged me on Messenger and says, "Hey man, I want to start a podcast. You're the only one I could think of."
Like, I wanted to kind of do like, because both of us are libertarians, and I guess we're gonna get into that here in a little bit.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start like a political podcast, but I wanted to do it, and I'm a very humorous person, and I wanted somebody that had my kind of humor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of looking around, like, who do I want to do this with? Because I don't want to do it by myself. Like,
Right.
it's tough.
It's yeah.
You have to have talent.
What was the
to
main
do it by-
factor too?
The fact that you have an ideology that is close to mine,
Well,
and we disagree on like little things, but the fact that you also have a fucking sick sense of humor like me.
well, not only that, I was actually going to answer this for you, but passion. Remember we talked about this?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
tough. If
that's-
you're going
that
to get involved
happened
with somebody,
after.
they have to be passionate, man, because they don't want the bullshit.
Because he was like, why don't we get together at Chili's and like talk about this and brainstorm?
Wait, tell them about that.
And I'm a very passionate person. When like I'm doing something like this, I'm very, very passionate about it. So when I'm going to Chili's, I'm thinking he's probably not going to be as passionate as me, but as long as he's like passionate about it, like that's cool. This guy is far more passionate than I am, which like just really just makes me like,
When we actually first met up, he was quiet, sitting back. I thought you were weird. I was like, I don't know about this guy because
I am weird.
He's
He
weird.
is
He's
right. Man.
definitely weird.
When I'm doing something I'm really passionate about, I can't be any more energetic. And I was just talking the entire time. How many shots did I buy?
Oh, a million.
Just because I was so excited
And the
to be
funny
talking
thing
about what I want
was,
to talk
he
about.
told me, he was like, dude, I'm not usually like this. And I'm like, nowadays, like I look back at that day, I'm like, who the fuck are you lying to? Like yourself? Like
Yeah, yeah.
this is exactly who you are. Like
Yeah,
that's who
pretty
he is. He's like so like and like he's always thinking shit. Like it was the first person I hit up, and I couldn't have found a better fucking person to do this with.
It's great.
Thank you.
You guys have really good chemistry on your show, and it reminds me of the chemistry that I have with my co-host because
you guys are awesome.
we're friends, and I think that makes it a lot better is because you guys can talk shit to
Yeah.
each other, talk shit with each other, and just enjoy the ride together. And I think that you can listen to. There's no way that you can't listen to Joe Shmoe Radio and fully believe that you guys are having a great time doing what you're doing.
Oh, we do.
And,
Here,
and that's,
we'll take a shot to that.
and that's
It's
I think that,
our 7-month anniversary.
oh yeah, congratulations! I thoroughly enjoy you guys on and off the mic. Alex, you and I have known each other a long time.
Very long
Finish that.
time.
What are you doing?
And I met you, Ian, when I came over to do your guys' show. And since then, it's been great because I can listen to your show. And like I said, I know you, Alex, but I'm getting to know you through the show, which is very cool. And
The cool thing about Ian is like the people that I brought on that he doesn't know end up loving him by the end of the show. Like they end up loving him. And same goes for like people I don't know.
I actually have a question. When I first met you, he kept calling you Buddha.
yeah.
Why do they call you that? And I'm asking you why because when you first walked in, I swear to God, I looked at your belly.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's got to have a big belly. And you didn't. So I was very disappointed.
Well, I'm really tall, so I carry my big belly well. But I do indeed have a big belly. But that's not the reason they call me Buddha. I am more or less non-religious. But back in high school, I would say I was more into Buddhism than I was anything else.
Buddhism's like a great religion.
Every time it comes up, I say I lean toward Buddhism more than anything.
And realistically, like I'm one of the people who I don't look at it as a religion. I look at it as a way of thinking and a way of life. And
Which is a religion, though. If you really think about
absolutely.
it. Like,
But I just
what a
am
religion's
so like
supposed to be.
non-religious that I just almost refuse to call it that. Just because to me,
I
all
know
the
what
other
you mean.
religions are like praise
Well,
this,
it's
do
be- it's
that,
become
do this. This
organized,
is
you
just
know what I
be
mean?
you and basically allow people to be people.
And backing off what you're saying is why I believe I'm agnostic, but I feel like I live agnosticism even in my political values. I don't lean toward one side or the other.
sexuality, too.
Yeah, whoever's in front of me, they're getting fucked. so yeah, my religious sense kind of carries out into the real world. Notice I said real world. I don't want to offend any Christians, but it is what it is.
To me, I just look at it as non-judgmental. You can believe in God. You don't have to. I don't care one way or the other. That's me. I feel a connection to myself, and
Yeah.
that's a big thing of Buddhism is just being yourself.
It's funny to hear
and
you say
making yourself
because
better.
I've called you Buddha forever. It's like, your stuff.
Yeah.
My look on religion is like, especially I've noticed through the years with Christianity, because like I used to have like almost like a resentment towards Christianity, and I've noticed like later in my years that I sound like I'm old when I say that, but I've noticed it's not the religion itself; it's the people that use the religion. Religion is for you. Like,
Right.
like when you follow religion, it's for your well-being. It's for you to be a better person.
For personal
it's not
growth.
for you to
Right,
judge
right.
me
Yeah.
or you. Because half the time, them people that use it that way, they use it that way because they are shitty themselves.
Right.
I think I said this on our previous podcast, but I envy, like I'm very agnostic, but I envy people that do believe in something, that can find closure in dying, think they're going to go to a greater place, man. I really envy that, because I've gone through like a rough time most of my life, and I feel like it would have helped me to gravitate towards something that
To have something to hold on to.
that in my mind is guiding me along the way.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
in Buddhism, like they're really obviously big into reincarnation and stuff like that. I don't know what I necessarily believe as far as like death is concerned, but as far as life is concerned, I feel like that's where religion
That's
is
the point.
supposed to help you. That's the whole point of it, is what you do from point A to point B.
To be a good
Point
person.
C is,
But
we'll
that's
see.
kind of what I think religion's for, is for
Yeah.
people that don't think about that.
Right,
It's to be like, hey, if you're a shitty person, this happens when you die.
right.
And I really think it's almost just a guideline to be a good person.
Right.
See, but in
And you're
Christianity, you
supposed to
could
use
be
that.
a shitty person as long as you are saved and blah blah blah
I
blah.
think-
That's
I-
why it's
See, but
very contradictory.
My outlook on Christianity is more like Christianity has a good guideline because it's to be like, we all do fuck up,
Right.
but like as long like if I do something terrible, and I go, fuck, that was terrible.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I really legitimately feel sorry for it. Like, because a shitty person who's been shitty their whole life, they're not really sorry on their deathbed. They're sorry that they're dying and they're scared that they're going to.
Well, no, but that boggles my mind, because in Christianity, you could be a killer, continue to be a killer, but know you're going to heaven.
not necessarily.
No,
Heaven-
that is necessary.
Heaven is.
I said that is necessary. That's
Heaven is
not what I meant.
Santa Claus for adults. Heaven is Santa Claus for adults. To me,
I kind of get it.
It's for kids. Be good all year. Santa Claus, for adults, it's be good. You go to heaven.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy, man.
That's what I've always kind of seen it as, and it's just like, I shouldn't need to be rewarded to be a good person.
Yeah.
Like I should just want
the
to be
reward is a good person,
right?
Like, I get a reward from, like, if you're down on your luck, I'm like, yo, man, here's $20 because you need it.
Right.
My reward is doing that for you. Like, I feel good about doing that.
See, and I don't want to get too deep, but there's even selfishness in that. Like
But
true
there is.
selflessness.
And I tried to explain that on the Key Bell.
That's the thing. In Buddhism, it's karma, dharma. You get what you put in.
But
You know what I'm saying?
selfishness isn't
if
bad.
you're good, you should get good. But the true challenge is to not keep track. The true
Yeah.
challenge is to not keep track.
Like, I'm not
if
trying to be
if
like,
you're
I
sitting
did
here
this
like,
for
I'm
you.
going to give you
Yeah.
$5, Salvation
Exactly.
Army, because someday I'm going to get $10 back from somebody else.
Like, and there's
You
always
can't
people
do
that do that. Like, and they're the people you don't want to do shit for. Like,
Right.
if I was that kind of guy and I was like, hey, Buddha, here's this $20, you'd be like, I don't want to take that from you because I know you're going to like hold that over my head.
Right.
And like, yeah.
It
I don't
erases the whole purpose.
No, I just want to do good for good people. Like, I gave a buddy of mine 4 cigarettes last night.
Keeping track.
Because I do a lot for the guy, and
What's his name?
He's in
Can
a
we-
bad place.
We named Ash on the
Bash
show.
this guy.
We all know him. I'll talk about it off air. But he's in a bad place right now, and he didn't have no cigarettes. He was getting out of the car. He was like, "Can I get a cigarette?" And I had a fresh pack and a pack of 4 in it. I was like, "Take the rest of these." I've done a lot for this guy. But I know if he was in a better position, he would also do the same for me.
Right.
And that was my outlook. It's not like I'm keeping track of how many times I do things
See,
for
but,
you.
and again, to break it down even more, you shouldn't even be saying he would do that for me. What I'm saying is absolute selflessness. I'll give you, for instance.
Nobody has that, though. Who has
That's not true. I'll
absolute-
give you a couple of examples. I picked up a guy. I live right by a Army
Whorehouse.
Reserves whorehouse. Yeah, I give him lots of money. I picked up a guy that was walking away from. He was dressed in full gear, Army. What do you call it? The fatigues.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was walking. I was like, I pulled up next to him. I was like, "Yo, man, you need a ride?" Knowing damn well it was going to make me late. And what I'm getting at, I drove him, 15 minutes down the road, 15 minutes back. I was late as fuck. Whatever I was doing, I felt nothing good of it. I helped him out, but I wasn't feeling good about that. To me, that is a little bit closer to full selflessness. You get what I'm saying?
But you do feel something good from that. Like you
Like you
just
did the
helped
right
that guy.
thing, I guess.
Like, no, I fucked up your life to help this guy. And that makes you feel good. Like, I literally just put my life on the shelf for a minute.
But
to
I
help
think
this
about
guy.
it. I think about it logically more than I do subjectively using emotion. Like I think logically, we should just fucking help everybody, regardless of how you're feeling.
I agree.
Does that make sense?
I agree.
So.
I want to help people.
Yeah, I mean that's the the ideal situation, and honestly, I mean obviously just by looking at social media in 2018 and now 2019, you can see that people don't give a shit about people.
But there is an argument to that. Like, we've kind of noticed that with our podcast, where like, and it was kind of when we decided that like we were going to go this way instead of the political way. Because we just talk about whatever on our podcast. One day we might talk about politics. Shit, for 10 minutes on our podcast,
We're way too free spirited to be confined to any.
Our
topic.
podcast is just a conversation with somebody who is interesting.
Right.
Be it they know a lot about something, they this or that. But even if they know about like this over here, we might end up talking about fucking basketball or this or that or shit. Last podcast we talked about shit in our pants.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why not?
Definitely did for like 20 minutes, I think.
Why not?
But that's the thing about this is lost my train of thought here.
It's all right.
What else you got, host?
As far as talking politics on podcasts, like for season 1 for us might be news. It was 10 episodes, and we started. It was like the week after the election, week after Trump was elected in.
You guys talked a lot more heavier than
politics.
Yeah.
Well, but
it was all politics, and
but-
it was all reactionary. And my thought process was that I was an uneducated person that was going to try to educate myself on what was happening in the moment and relay that information to people who cared.
But see, my thing about talking politics with somebody like you is you're not fully uneducated.
Right.
I mean, like me and Ian might know more about certain things than you do, but you're educated enough to talk about it, and you have an open mind enough.
And that's two
like,
things. You don't
actually
need
have
to
a
know shit.
conversation.
I don't care if I'm talking to you, getting into a heated debate. If you have an unbiased opinion and you ask questions, we can have a great conversation.
I think an unbiased opinion, and the other thing that I think is crucial is a good moral compass.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
have
absolutely.
a good
Yeah,
moral
absolutely.
understanding of who yourself is, but also if you care about people, you want to think about how to treat people. And I think that the government, as it is now, and we'll talk about this, is it's two teams obviously going at it, and you're one or the other. And it really sucks. It sucks to have conversations with people, especially when you can't hear or see each other. Social media makes it so hard because it's first of all, it's unfiltered. You can just go off and you can find what you think are facts, whether they are or aren't. It's kind of irrelevant for this conversation because it's all it is just arguing, infighting. And to me, that's exactly what this two-party system wants us to be doing.
And really important thing that you said to understand that the person has a good moral compass. No one even thinks about that. They just think like, oh, you think this, you're this. And I think the best example is people that think the idea of socialism a good thing. Socialism is a good thing. socialism was developed. I don't want to say it was developed to help people, but most people think it's the most fair way.
They had a good ideal.
Yeah, I don't even know how to structure that.
The theory that
comment.
it came from is in good nature.
Well, I would even argue that, but
the greed of man makes it
correct.
a bad idea.
What I'm getting at is, the Republicans will say to socialists, or I should say libertarians would say to socialists, you're asking for more tax. You're basically putting a gun to my head saying, give me your money so I can give it to this charity that I see fit. That's kind of in a nutshell.
Well, my analogy to
but
that
let
is
me just finish this real quick, because the people that want socialism have good morals, man. They just want the best for everyone. And everyone overlooks that. Everyone. They think you're a piece of shit.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Anyway, that's rant done.
My look on that is, what I say to a lot of people is, if I rob you on the street and take your money, and then I go and give it to a bunch of homeless people, is that right?
No.
Exactly.
No.
That's my look.
Right.
So, like, what that is I'm taking this money from this person and I'm giving it to these people. And, a lot of rich people do a lot of good things for people.
Right.
Businesses create jobs. They create products that we all buy that make life easier.
Right.
I mean, how the fuck are we doing this podcast?
Right. Right. No, I get it. Yeah. No, it makes sense because, and I don't know if I could. I don't know what I am as far as party. I like we were talking about before the show. I definitely lean left.
That's okay. You don't have to identify that.
I wouldn't
definitely
put you
lean
as like a Democrat,
Right.
or liberal or anything like that. But you lean left.
Yeah, I definitely lean left as far as like what is happening. Certainly right now, I like to feel things out. And there's a number of Republican congressmen and senators and stuff that I look at and would say that, all right, yeah, they're not a piece of shit. You know what I mean? But there's more on one side currently.
Most of them are fucking pieces of shit.
Let's make that very clear. Most of the government is full
I think on both
of
sides.
Big time.
On both sides, there's a lot of shitty people.
Big time. And I think that one of the biggest problems right now is the trigger generation, is what I like to call it, where it's just like everything right now is just pure outrage.
Yeah.
Pure outrage. And you can't get anywhere from that. You can't have a constructive conversation when either side is red in the face from screaming the entire time.
Well, I've gotten to a point now, like when I talk to people, if you're that far into your ideology, I'm not wasting my breath.
Right.
Like, because I'm just talking to a fucking wall. Like,
Right.
I could literally prove you wrong,
Right.
and you don't care.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. Like, I'm not wasting my time.
I've gotten in the habit now of, like, instead of writing a long rebuttal to somebody on Facebook, I'll just do like the little laugh emoji on there. Like with the like or laugh or heart or whatever. I just put the laugh on there just so they know that I think they're being stupid and wrong. But I'm not going to take it any further than that. Like, I feel like, because even when I'm polite and like cordial online, it sometimes it doesn't come out that way because you don't read it that way.
It's context.
Yeah, it's all context. So it's that that makes it even harder to have a real conversation with somebody because they don't know. They know what you're saying, but they don't know how you're saying it, and it's stupid.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
What?
No, I used to get into these. I used to go these. Yeah, thanks. I used to get into these long debates online. I got over it, but now I'll offer. If it really fires me up, and I feel so inclined to leave a comment, I'll offer my argument. And if they shoot back with something kind of ignorant, I'll say, you know what? I have a podcast. I'd love to bring you on sometime.
Yeah.
And I always at the end, I say cheers now because I want them to know it's all love.
That brings it back to
and
what
basically,
I was trying to say
especially
earlier.
when they're trying to attack me, they look like a dumbass.
Yeah.
And they never come back to me because they don't want to. They don't want to actually argue it. So
that brings me back to what, like, one thing great about this podcast is through social media, we've lost a lot of contacts and arguments. And I think that's one of the big reasons for this division that we have right now. And there's been people that me and Ian brought on, like, I'll say James Bryan. I thought he was way more extreme than he actually we thought
came
that,
on.
like, we were going to be debating. We agreed on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, when we sat down and talked, we agreed on, like, most shit.
Dude, I had 2 pages written down in front of me,
and,
ready
like,
to go.
Actually,
Wow.
like,
And
I talk to him now all the time. And like when I first talked to him on Facebook, me and him would go at it.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like we hated each other, but like we weren't fond of each other. And then like there became like a mutual respect at some point.
Right.
And I asked him if he'd come on the podcast, and he listened to the episodes we had already. He was like, I love your podcast. And he came on, and yeah, he ended up agreeing with us on that shit.
And going back to what you were
then I
saying.
got on my portable recorder after the podcast.
Oh, you did the
Ian was leaving. He was like, you guys can chill, because we were having a conversation. He was like, you guys can chill, just lock up. And I had like another half-hour conversation with him.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
going back to what you said about a great moral compass, dude, he's got that.
Yeah.
It was just really funny to see. Like, oh, I thought we were going to disagree about all this. We agreed on this. He handled himself well. He wasn't outrageous online. He gets a little abrasive sometimes.
Yeah,
but,
I think we
but
all
dude,
do.
he was a great dude.
Yeah.
I love being abrasive online.
And it's well,
I love being abrasive.
We know.
Period.
no, I thought that was a great experience.
No, it's awesome.
It was a humbling experience because you get so fired up by some of the shit you see online.
Sure. And it's great to be able to sit down and talk with people about things that you either A, don't understand, or B, don't agree with each other on.
Yes, I love it.
I love it because I want to, first of all, I want to learn, and I also want to teach. If there's
Exactly.
a teachable moment, I want to be taught or I want to teach.
Well,
One way or the other. That's
we
how
all
it goes.
get in this, like, I'm deep into my ideology, and I feel like it's foolproof for the most part. And so, like, I want to talk to people that also are open-minded. Like, I think it's foolproof. Like, what I'm saying is foolproof. But I also, like, when somebody says something out, that's what makes my ideology foolproof.
See,
Is the fact that, like you say something and I go, huh, maybe you're right.
Right.
Like, and that's why I've built this ideology that is foolproof.
And you
Do
want to
you
look
think-
into it. You want more information from that. A good conversation shouldn't be.
I'm not afraid to be wrong.
A good conversation to
afraid.
me shouldn't be the end of the discussion, right?
Yeah.
A discussion, a good conversation should lead to
Opens up
more
a rabbit
knowledge.
hole.
Right,
Opens up a rabbit hole.
right.
the approach that I take, the way how you just
Anal.
said, yeah, I knew. I saw when I saw him lean in, I was like, okay. The approach that I take with it, I wouldn't describe myself. I'm deep in my ideology because I think there's a certain level of ego that comes with that. I don't want to be so deep in my ideology that my ego gets in the way of
Well, yeah.
accepting some new
I
information.
agree with that.
And that's why the
like, what
agnosticism idea
yeah.
really carries with me from a day to day.
like, when it comes to, like, political and, like,
You're more subject to bias,
yeah.
is what I'm saying. That's why I try not to.
My ideology, like, and it's not even religion. Like, I wouldn't even put religion into it. It's more political, and the way I want to live my life is I don't want to hurt other people. I don't want to steal other people's stuff. That's like the general rule I live by,
Yeah,
and that logically goes into politics and things like that. And when you ask people that, because like libertarianism literally is that.
right.
I can
don't-
find a
you
lot
don't-
of I can find a lot of flaws in libertarianism too. But
You
There's-
don't.
There's
Well,
flaws in all of it.
There's
It's-
flaws in everything.
no. Here's my thing though. With libertarianism, everyone thinks we're right because we're so consistent. And I feel like a lot of libertarians ignore the idea of
They're
case
not
to
open.
case.
They're
Well,
not
there's
open. That's what I was
case by
getting to.
case basis
Yeah.
sometimes.
But
And I
then
think
there's
they ignore
gray
that.
areas. There's gray areas. Like there's like abortion. Abortion is a very gray area, and
I've never come to a conclusion about abortion. I'm always just like, I don't know.
I mean,
I'll tell you what, get government out of it. I know that much.
Yeah, well, of course, like from our viewpoint. But with abortion, are you hurting someone,
On our podcast, you would have gone
or is somebody free
completely the other
to
way
do
with
that?
He's being polite. It's nice.
No, I'm actually getting deep.
I mean, it
Get the
I
coat hanger.
I see what you're saying because it's like, obviously from a certain standpoint, it's it's murder, but like also, to me as an individual,
But this is exactly what I'm talking about.
it's not
an
my body,
opinion.
right?
It's an opinion.
It's an opinion, right?
Like
So,
some
like-
people, like, and that's what I try to take in. Like, I can see things from other people's point of view,
Mhm.
even if I have the opposite opinion.
Right.
Abortion is more perspective than it is facts, which
Yeah,
is
like-
really difficult.
And I think that's the biggest problem with abortion is like either side doesn't see the other side.
Like I'm
Like people like, if I sit here and say
Let me add one thing.
abortion's abortion shouldn't be right. It's not right. The other side can't see that. I see that as murder.
Right.
They look at it like you're trying to tell me what to do.
Right.
And then them people also can't see the other way. You know what I mean? Like, it's
people see me, Buddha, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And they're very surprised to hear that I firmly believe that one of the biggest problems in the world today is overpopulation. I think that if I don't think that there should be a life sentence. Kill that person. If you're gonna just stuff them in a corner somewhere forever, just get rid of them.
Are we talking babies or just
no?
People?
I'm talking like I'm pro death penalty as well. Like I think that if we're gonna just if somebody's not,
I am to a certain extent.
if somebody's not fit to have a child, if somebody's not for a rape case, and no matter what, it's not my body. But I don't care what you do.
What do you add?
Hold on. Can I bank off him? Because he was kind of going to say what I was going to say.
We're taking a break here.
All right, give me 30 seconds.
You can say
I was going to
hop back
a lot of
into
times, not that I 100% believe this, but I offer a nihilistic approach to it where, one might say human life is not that important. And if you're really going to look at it like that, you said the population is actually a big deal. And another thing is we live by the quality of, we try to get the best quality of life. And if that child's not going to have the best quality of life,
right.
Right. So
I see that point of view.
Well,
I'm pro-life though.
Well, Jackie and
I understand that.
But it's a personal preference.
My wife Jackie and I, we've talked about adoption.
I wouldn't tell you to not have an abortion.
Right,
like,
right. No, I wouldn't say something like that either. But like Jackie and I, we've talked about adoption.
Do you have any cohammers?
But like we've talked about it because it's just like there's kids out there that need help. There's kids out there that need, it's like I'm so glad that we adopted our dog. I don't want to compare kids to dogs, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm glad that we got him out of a bad situation.
There's a comparison.
He's now in a good one. And like, there's tons and tons and millions of kids out there that need help and need a good place to live that are being neglected by the system, by people, and people just continuously are popping out kids right now. It's a crazy, crazy thing. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to you guys about the now longest government shutdown in U.S. history. And I want to talk a little bit about Donald Trump because we don't talk politics on any of these shows. And I'm having a great time talking to you guys about it. And I think that you guys are going to have some interesting things to
Alex
say.
loves Trump.
Right.
Shit.
Cut you off, bitch. You're gay. Ian's gay. Ian's a faggot.
We'll be right back.
Sounds like Desperado Tarantino stuff.
Welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I'm here with the boys from Joe Shmoe Radio.
Oh, baby.
Ian and Alex. We're back in here. I want to talk about your show. So tell me about some of the guests that you've had on your shows. Because one thing that is pretty consistent with your show is that you guys have a steady flow of guests contributing to your content.
Well, our guests range. I guess I should say the episodes range. It's all over the place. I don't know how to describe us. It's sentimental. It's crazy. It's wild. It's vulgar. It's
the best thing about our podcast is we can have somebody in that like is knowledgeable about like some politics or something,
Mm-hmm.
No, don't say we're straying from politics. Remember, it's not political. Like, our show's not political.
It's not really a political show, but like we can. Our show's pretty much about anything. We just have a fucking organic conversation.
What did we talk about last show? Let's put it that way.
Last show, we brought this girl in to talk about guns and the Second Amendment rights, and we ended up talking more about shitting our pants.
So it's I like to
and,
gear people up
the
for
cool thing about our show
the vulgarity
is
sometimes.
like anybody listening to this, a good episode to listen to that really like hits me hard is the episode with Ashley Thomas. I forget what episode it was.
Like 6, 7, 8, or 9. Listen to all of them to be sure.
But like we have episodes. It's always kind of funny because me and Ian are just that kind of people. Mm-hmm. But we have people in. We like to have people in that have like stories that are like inspirational.
Dude, Zach Thompson.
Zach Thompson.
Just inspirational talks and quotes that you see on Facebook in an episode.
The episode with Ashley Thomas, where she's talking about her kid who has a syndrome and like how she's dealt with it.
Burke's-Barrel syndrome.
Burke's-Barrel syndrome. Very rare syndrome.
1 in 3 in the United States.
And how she's like overcome things that like when he was born and she found out. The last 10 minutes of that podcast, man, I like sat back in my chair. And I was like, man, it's awesome to like just talk about whatever. Like sometimes we can talk about this. Sometimes we can just sit here and bullshit and make jokes.
We like to do meaningful stuff too, man. But it's not all just
this
some craziness.
Is like why I want to do this. Like I want to do this for this type of shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was just so inspirational and just like where she came from when he was born to where he's 5 now. Where she is now, like,
and we're gonna have her on in a couple months to check in, see how he's doing.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I mean, just like who she is, like as a person. Like I was sitting there,
like
going,
in detail, her day to day, man.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
And like at the time, I was going through a lot of shit, and just that podcast made me go, I'm not going through shit. Like she deals with this shit daily,
Every
and like,
day.
dude, she handles it like a fucking boss.
Wow.
Like
Another one we had on, Silk Wilkins. He was a few episodes, man. He was he was young. I guess he was 20, 21, something like that. He was driving around with his cousin and his best friend. He was hammered drunk. He got in a car accident. His best friend died. Wow. He went to jail for a while. He came out. He's doing well.
Never been in trouble.
He's positive also. Yeah. It's just it's all over the place. Then we have ones where we just get hammered and we
make jokes.
We have some people on.
And I mean, like
transgendered Ange. Shout out transgender Ange. She's
Ange is a great person. Ange is probably one of the best people I've met since we started doing the podcast.
Yeah, she is awesome.
You've known.
She would laugh if she heard it. I'll tell her.
But that's what's cool about her. Like you can joke with her. Like I care about everybody.
Right.
I make jokes.
Even Clara Simmons, man, another great episode. She was in a serious car accident. They removed hair for skull. Her brain was covered up by just the skin for months, and we're cracking jokes with her about it. And she's it's
the
all
best
love.
thing about her was
it's all love.
Ian usually screens the guests.
We don't want no weirdos.
Well, because somebody might have a great story, but they just can't talk.
Right.
So Ian likes to like talk to them before like we have them on.
Sure.
And Clara Simmons was somebody who emailed me. And I was talking to her a little bit, and we had a night where a guest canceled. And, like, we were in a rut. And I was like, let me call her up. I was like, at worst, we don't have a podcast, which we don't right now anyway. So let me call her up. Called her up. She was like, cool, I'll be in a half hour. Then she came in. Coolest fucking person I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
She was cool as fuck. Sat there doing shots with us, fucking drinking. And, like, she was able to joke about, like, the shit she went through. Like,
yeah,
she was able to like, she wasn't like heartbroken.
Right.
Like she was at a point in her life where she's able to make jokes about like things she went through and shit.
See the lighter side of it as opposed to like going through it. And
And I mean, like, I think both of us kind of think that way when it comes to humor. Like, I'll make a joke that you might be like, wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah. As long as the only off limits on our podcast is he can't talk about my dad. So that's all inside.
Wait till Father's Day. We're having a Father's Day.
It's all inside
We're having
jokes.
a Father's
No
Day.
one's even going to get that. So
We're having a Father's Day podcast.
Well, that's
I
okay.
Can't wait.
I think that the episodes that I have listened to of your show have been great, and I encourage people to go out and listen to them. I know that you have already said that, like me, have kind of strayed away from the politics. Not that it's not a possibility to come up, because we do talk about. We at least have talked about like the gun issue, the school shootings and stuff.
It comes up in a lot of episodes.
But like one thing that we wholeheartedly avoid here, and part of that is due to the fact that I have a lot of personalities that, in a sense, work for the network that are into different things and believe different things, and that way. Everybody feels like this is a place where they can just kind of be who they want to be and do what they're supposed to be doing.
We have our political views, but like, I feel like our objective. Drink another one, man. Objective is we want everybody's life to be better.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's a common theme, whether through laughter or a solid story. It's
like our job is to uplift people.
Right.
We want people to feel better. Like, we want everyone to feel better. And that's kind of where everything comes from.
Even as abrasive as we might come off sometimes.
Well, that comes from
it comes from a good place.
Right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. It comes from the dark place, man.
Right.
You got to laugh at it.
Even like when I write music, like, because I'm a musician, you know that.
Right.
And my best music comes from when I'm in the darkest place.
Right.
Yeah.
And
without angst, there's no art.
Exactly. And like, that's the reason why I feel like me and you both have dark humor. And like, you kind of get that type of humor too.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah.
Is like, you have that humor to uplift a situation that is heavy for other people. And you're just trying to make people happy that are in a bad place.
Right. I also know about both of you that
what do you know, dude? Shit. Don't say this on the podcast.
Shit. But I also know that you guys both have very interesting opinions about politics, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
I know what you're doing. Good segue.
I want to talk a little bit about
you're all right, man.
with you guys, because honestly, I am interested in all of it, and I'm somewhat biased, but I feel like most of my bias comes from what we were talking about earlier, my moral compass. Right. Not my political allegiance, but like I just feel like a lot of the things that I'm seeing right now are stupid and wrong based on what I view right and wrong is.
Yeah.
Right.
And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about it because we made it through most of 2018 on this network without talking about any of it, really. And
I'm still so impressed with your segue. My segues are aliens. Go. It's so not smooth, man.
So ADD.
I'm just listening to your voice. I'm melting in my chair.
No, you did that so smooth.
Wow.
And like I know how you do your shit.
Jesus, that's
Ian
good,
isn't
man.
that?
Thank you.
And Ian is the one who steers our podcast.
Yeah, which is bad.
I'm
not good at it, but I do it.
It works.
Hey, it
it's so
happens.
ADD. Like we will talk about 5 random things in 5 minutes.
You know what though? I ruin the guests sometimes because we'll be talking about, I don't know, family matters. And then I'll be like, tell me about the biology of ants. And there's no segue. So
never.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off your. Go ahead. Which, by the way, ants do not have lungs. Speaking of ants, that's a segue.
Very interesting.
I'm just segueing back into you. Go.
That was a terrible segue. But
they never sleep and they don't have lungs.
All right. So now we know that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Buddha.
Right now, right now we're in the longest government shutdown in American history, which is interesting.
We still don't have power, but
but what I wanted to say first was that 2018 was a very, very crazy year in politics and for America in general. A lot because of social media and everybody's exposure, I think, now to what's going on, whether that isn't a great exaggeration by a totally biased source or whatever. But I feel like so many people have their emotions into this now and their opinions into this now. And I wanted to know what you guys thought about what's going on. Because
this is different from what you're going to say. I just want to say 2 things real quick. When somebody, I'm sorry. If I don't get it out, it's not going to come out. For New Year's, a New Year's resolution to our entire nation, be more tolerant of people with opposing opinions of you,
Yeah.
and
Okay,
do
I
some
agree with
research, man. And listen, we all get our news from left or most people get our news from left or right. The whole paradigm. Everyone's biased in the reports, man. So just keep doing research, balance shit out, and have some fucking
unbiased.
tolerance.
There is no unbiased. There's no such thing as being unbiased.
Even independent papers, they're biased against the government, so they're going to try to bash them when they try to report the news. Be more tolerant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you got to be. I 100% agree with that because you see it everywhere, and it sucks because major news media is it's totally biased, one side or the other. There's one or the other, one or the other.
My thing is that I think a lot of what's going on with the division in the country right now has to do with media. Media.
Yeah.
I don't know.
is that a silent word you just said?
with
Media.
But no, I feel like the media. Bill Hicks. You guys know who Bill Hicks is?
Yeah.
Stand-up
It's Alex
comedian
Jones.
back in the day. Yeah, Alex Jones when he was younger. Everybody Google that.
There's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy that Alex Jones was Bill Hicks. You didn't know about that?
Shit.
I thought that's why you were saying
That's
that.
even better than what I was going to say.
Listen,
No,
Sorry.
but anyway, Bill Hicks has a joke about CNN where it's like war, fire. I can't remember exactly how the joke goes, but he's talking about like how it's
Sounded
just
great.
disaster,
Yeah.
disaster, and he's like, and I go outside my door and it's just crickets.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the media does that.
Right.
The media, like, shit isn't as bad as like the media makes it. Like, the media reports on things that are going to make them great. It's going to get a lot of hits.
Right.
Are they going to get ratings off mediocre shit? Are they going to go off ratings about a fucking bird in the backyard?
They're not going to get ratings off of you.
Oh, that's fucked up. Banking off what you were saying, what I was going to say
baby.
before you so rudely cut me off. I was in the bar the other night and I looked around and I don't know why I was kind of thinking about this, but everyone in this
All
bar,
white people.
no, there was a mixture. Everyone has different political opinions in that bar.
And nobody gives
Everyone.
a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck because we're drinking, having a good time. If I went up to this person and I had a drink with them and I was like, yo, dude, what do you do for fun? And we're talking, we're hitting it off. That's great. But then when I'm
Nobody
like, oh, you like
cares.
Bernie? You're a fucking faggot.
Yeah, like,
Who
that's
gives a
stupid.
shit?
That's stupid.
Oh, you like Trump? You're a racist. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And Dave Smith.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you do it.
Okay. Dave Smith, comedian, he does Legion of Skanks and Part of the Problem.
He's a fellow libertarian.
He has this saying that he always says is, I'm a Jewish man who can catch a cab by a Muslim, go to my house, and the Muslim says, Happy Holidays, and I say, Happy Holidays. And there's an exchange there. And we all benefit from that.
Where are you going with this?
I'm saying
The
that, like,
amount of conversation, the conversation that you have together is
like what you
beneficial.
just
You're talking about the
pretty much-
diversity.
Yeah, it's what you just said. Like, most people don't give a fuck
Right.
about your
Yeah.
political views, about your religious views. I don't care what you think religiously. Like,
Right.
You guys are cool people.
Right.
You could think whatever, unless it was Nazi.
right.
I mean, Buddha's pretty cool. Like, even if he was a Nazi, I might still chill with him.
Yeah.
Because he's high as fuck right now. And I would probably still chill with him. I'm like, that killing Jews things.
Hitler, remember what was one episode? Hitler's
okay.
not a bad guy. Jesus.
But we like the heart of this conversation that I want to have with you guys, and we have about 10 minutes left, is what, as far as Trump goes, I think one of the biggest question marks moving forward in 2019 is this whole Russia investigation, and what does it mean, and what do all these indictments mean, and how does it all connect, and where is it all going?
I'll start this off.
And I think that
Okay.
let's
keep it quick. We'll go back and forth.
by watching what's going on, and it's hard to understand what's going on because there's so much going on. My question for you guys, I suppose, is where do you see it going at this point, and how do you see 2020 going? I mean, where do you think we're going right now?
Russian investigation?
Everything. Well, yeah, more so the Russian
Nothing.
investigation.
There's really nothing there, and the FBI will find anything. Like,
It's bullshit. I know the left is so desperately looking to cling on to something.
Exactly. And
Dude, the CNN guy that was fired, the CNN editor, they had him
find dirty shit.
Yeah,
like
it's
all of them are dirty.
The guy
Every
under CNN,
single one of them are dirty, slimy fucking creatures.
The CNN editor, they called him. He was when they walked into the elevator. I saw the footage. They were talking about the arrest investigation. He was like, "Oh, it's mostly bullshit." And I'm just like, "Oh,
it is."
Dude,
if there was something there.
Who gives a fuck if they go to court, man? You can go to court for anything. Oh, I saw this. Okay, let's go to court.
Right.
Just because you go to court doesn't mean shit, man. And I'm not pro-Trump because I know people are listening. They're like, "Oh, he's sticking up for Trump," but it is what it is.
And Trump's a
dude.
retard.
Obama was going to court every year over something. Yeah. I know they say he didn't have many investigations and he didn't compared to Trump.
But no, the media is a lot more left-leaning than right-leaning. I mean, we have Fox News,
right?
But most of the media is left-leaning. So there is like this, like, I don't know. Trump sucks. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he doesn't.
Right.
But he sucks a lot less than people act like he does. I mean, he sucks like any ordinary fucking president does.
If you're gonna hate on him for
that's what I'm saying.
Meaningful
like,
things, not like he likes ketchup with a
things
steak.
I can fucking sit here and like talk shit on him about.
Right.
Like, he sucks.
It just ruins credibility when you're like, he likes ketchup with the steak. Or what are some other outrageous accusations?
Just even like the illegal immigrant thing where they had the kid in the cage, and that was actually from
By the way, did you see the video footage? It was in the early 2000s. I want to say it was 2006, 2004. Obama. How about this? Fuck the entire government. Stop dividing. Let's get together and be against all these people.
Exactly.
Obama, there's video footage. He was
Fuck
like,
the government.
He said,
that's my message.
Yeah,
fuck the government.
Illegal immigration is a problem. We need to tackle this. This is when he was still a senator.
Obama was very strict on government.
Absolutely.
I mean,
immigration. Yeah. I wish he was strict on government. But dude, just look around, man. Just look around. Don't be biased. Stop doing that.
Yeah,
but that picture of the kid in the cage, that was from Obama's.
Oh, by the way, do you know when ICE was established? It wasn't in the Trump administration.
Right.
It was established in 2003 under Bush.
And see, when you say shit like this,
why didn't Obama abolish that?
Right.
This sounds pro-Trump when you say shit like this.
No, and the truth.
That's
I'm
because
pro-truth.
people go like, well, if you're saying this about Obama, that means that you're about Trump. No, I'm not about Trump at all.
Yeah.
Fuck Trump, fuck Obama, fuck Bush, fuck Clinton, fuck Senior Bush,
right?
Fuck Reagan, fuck all of them, dude.
Right.
They're all pieces of shit.
Yeah.
All of them.
So
all the senators are slimy fucks. Yeah, all of them.
All of them are. I think that the biggest thing with all of it is that just the public outcry is a huge deal, but also that it's just so in your face. We have news organizations, newspapers, nightly news, literally reporting on a Twitter feed, straight up, straight up, and that's the world that we're living in now, and that's the climate that this has all reached. And to me, it's just this crazy thing because when we were kids coming up, like I didn't know anything about what was.
I don't feel like it was like this.
It wasn't. Absolutely wasn't like. And the only major difference, the real major difference, is social media and the fact that it's out there for you. You don't have to go to the edge of your driveway to pick up your newspaper.
It's instantaneous.
It's instantaneous. I get notifications because I'm trying to stay up on some of this stuff. I get notifications on my phone all day about
that's why I'm glad we're not doing a political podcast like we wanted to.
Because you wouldn't be able to shut me up.
Can't keep up.
I would have to do that. Yeah. And like you're doing a lot of shit here, so you got to keep up with the news and shit. I can literally just sit here and fucking do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Dude, I've come so far out of, like, I don't give a fuck what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about the government
because it's all the same thing, man.
You're talking about the government shutdown.
Yeah.
Is there food in your fridge?
Right.
Is your job still there?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
As far as right now.
Well, we talked about this right before the podcast. Obviously, there's a number of government employees not getting paid. I sincerely feel for them. We need smaller government. You got to find a different job. Straight up.
Yeah,
that's an unpopular opinion, but it can't sustain itself. It really can't.
No, it can't.
Certainly not the way it's going.
Well, yeah, people have a problem with a lot on the left, and I'm not trying to turn people off from the left, but like there's this thing where like people are like, we need to help poor people. Let's make a law instead of actually helping poor people.
Right.
Like, let's make a law. Okay, I did my part. Like, you didn't do shit.
Right.
You didn't do shit. You stole money off of people that have money.
Right.
Like, I can go and help poor people right now. Ian and his wife do a lot of charity
Dude, we
work.
sponsored 2 families.
They do a lot of charity work.
Yeah, two families
And
for
he doesn't
Christmas,
even
man. We
talk
bought them a bunch
about
of shit.
Very
Like,
cool.
he doesn't even talk about
Yeah,
this shit.
very
But
cool.
what I'm saying, like, you could help just by doing that, man.
Right. Right.
Sponsor a family. We
That's
bought them.
way
We bought them
cooler.
enough stuff. Yeah, we clothes.
That's way
kitchen.
cooler
It's,
than voting for somebody who's going to make a law to do something and being like, hey, I
it's
did my
force.
part.
Stop saying law. It's force.
It is.
I want to force
It is.
people to do this.
It is.
It's just force.
I think that it's crazy because no matter what we do and what we say, nothing's really going to come up.
Nothing's going to happen.
And nothing's going to change. But I do agree that it's always good to have conversations like these.
Yes.
Because first of all, I want to know what's on other people's minds. Because I
Yeah.
think about this stuff a lot. I do. Because I happen to think that there is meat to this Russia investigation. I think that there's things that are happening with people that were involved in it that are directly tied to him. And it's only a matter of time before it's all presented itself, because there's a lot of things that we don't know.
Yeah, I'm
because
not
we
saying
can't
there's
know.
not some
Exactly.
truth in it, but I think a lot of it is fabricated.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. I think I wouldn't go so far as to say fabricated. I would go as far as to say speculated at this point.
Exaggerated.
Exaggerated.
Well, I would say
Speculated.
mostly
Yeah.
fabrication and
Before
speculation.
we end
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
It's a
you
lot of
just-
it, look.
You just said how like nothing's going to happen because of this conversation, but it's good we're having this conversation. There's a story about a man who was throwing clams back into the ocean.
Mhm.
There's millions of clams on the beach. He's throwing these clams back in the ocean. And another man walks up like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to make a difference. You're not going to make a difference. And he's like, no, but I made a difference to this clam and this clam and this clam.
That's
and this
individualism.
clam.
You're making
And
differences.
what we're doing right here
Yeah.
is how it starts.
Yeah.
This is how that happens.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way we do this.
Dude, ideas are contagious, man.
You don't do it from the top. You do it from the bottom. You get other people thinking this way, and we all move forward.
Name one movement in the history of mankind that started with millions of people. It didn't. It
Right.
started with a select few.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I wanted to say something funny. I couldn't think of it.
Well, I think just to close this up, I think that you guys are both very, very cool people that have a very, very cool podcast. And I appreciate what you guys do, because podcasting is clearly my passion. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I'd say.
I do it all-
How many hours a
do it
week?
all-
How many
do it all
hours a
the
week
time.
do you contribute?
I do
Jesus Christ, probably 40.
five, 6, 7, 8 hours for sure, as far as like recording hours.
And
but-
then the editing.
And all that
Dude,
stuff,
you
yeah.
put in a lot of work with your
yeah.
network.
So it's
And,
like it's
yo,
it's
what
a-
you do is fucking awesome.
Thank you,
and
man.
you were one of the main contributors to my influence.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate what you guys do, because podcasting is such a cool tool for people like us to vent and also share our ideas.
And it's blowing
And
up.
It's an
It is.
expression. It's an
Yeah.
expression, man.
Blowing up too.
There's so many. The coolest thing about it is that there's so many of them, but it still doesn't feel oversaturated, because there's
No.
so many interesting different topics and niches and da-da-da-da-da.
Exactly. You
So
can
it's-
do one about anything.
Right. And that idea in general is kind of what sparked the whole network idea for me, is because it's like, well, if I'm just doing Might Be News, maybe I
can
could do
hit
something
other
else
niches.
that somebody might find interesting and listen to the same thing. And that's where it all started. But it's just kind of like, I think about this all the time, and I can tell that you guys put a lot of thought into yours as far as like getting your
Not
guests.
really.
And, well, I just mean,
I
just
put
mean
some thought behind
to
our
do
stuff.
it. You
I put some thought behind
I
it,
know.
but,
a lot of people in nowadays.
I don't feel like I do, because it's such like a love.
Right.
And I'm sure you don't either. Like, you don't really feel like I feel like this is just doing nothing. And like, there's just, it's a love for doing it. So like, I don't feel like I'm doing anything.
Right.
Like, I feel like I'm doing just shit that I like to do.
I think it takes a special kind of person to take it to this level. You know what I'm saying? Because I think some people, it's good enough making a Facebook post or posting on Instagram or sitting there and going on a Twitter rant. Or like people like us, we take it to the next level, which is, let me talk to you for a little while.
Yeah.
And like, let's walk through some things together.
Right. Exactly.
It's actual conversation. It's back and forth.
And you do take it serious. And me and him have conversations that are like dead fucking serious about the podcast. But it doesn't feel like actual like work. It doesn't feel like I'm doing like when I'm uploading, when I'm doing like the Facebook posts and all that. And by the way, we are looking for somebody to do social media managing. So help us out.
If you like doing shit for free, hit us up.
If you like our podcast and you want to do shit for free, we'll get you drunk.
The other thing, yeah, we'll supply alcohol. If you want to see anything on our show, when you listen to it, I love hearing from people I've never met in my entire life, man.
Me too.
Hit me up and be like, hey, fuckhead. And just tell me something, man. I love hearing that. Also, if you want to reach out to us, you can reach Alex at 484-798. You're supposed to cut me out. You're supposed to cut me out.
I was going to let you go. Yo, if you were going to get my number out, fuck it. Get my number out.
I'm not going to now. You've ruined it.
484-798-7475. I want to hear from all of you.
Don't. You're going to get so many dick pics, dude. You're not going to know what to do with them.
I hope I get mad dick pics.
I'm sending you one. I'm sending you one tonight, dude.
I hope you do too. But thank you guys so much for being on the show with me.
Yeah, let me one more shout out. Fuck Joe Rogan. Fuck Bill Burr. Fuck all the big podcasts. Listen,
we're coming for
it's
you,
all about
baby.
the small guy. We're coming up. We're giants. You don't even know about us. We're famous.
Like,
you just haven't heard of us.
Buddha and Ian are giants.
Yes, literally. So that's it. That's all I got.
I appreciate.
Oh, hi, Mom. Mom, I'm really not gay. I know I told you that a couple weeks ago. I'm not.
I hope your mom listens.
She's busy.
I really appreciate you guys being on here. And this was a long time in the making. I've wanted to have you guys on for a while.
This is awesome.
I'm glad we got to sit down and do this together.
Fucking right, dude.
Yeah, fucking right, dude.
Fucking right, dude.
Great.
I love you, Buddha.
I love you too, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on.
Yeah,
Seriously,
they're touching tips.
We can have sex.
They're touching tips right now.
Yeah, we go way, way back, man. It's great. And
we go way back into his butthole.
Listen, we go back 4 or 5 months. All right, cut this off. I'm done. I'm gonna say something stupid.
I'm really glad though. I'm really glad to see that you guys are doing the show and that you guys are having so much fun doing it. And,
the fact that you had a lot of, dude, you came on the first episode and you had like so much, you were like, this is cool. Like what you guys are doing is cool. And like, you've been doing it for a while.
And without him, we wouldn't be able to do multi-track recording.
No, we would have never known how to do it. And we were like a headache.
We are morons with that shit.
Well, I was too at first, and that's the beauty of this is that
it is.
I'm glad that we know each other, and I was able to help you guys, and you guys are helping me out by being here right now. So
fucking right, man.
I really appreciate it. I really do.
And you're helping us out as well.
Yeah, well, it's great, and
networking.
We'll do this again. We'll definitely do this
fucking
again.
right. Fucking right.
And I look forward to everything else that you guys are getting ready to get going on in 2019. It's going to be a great year.
Go Birds.
All right.
Baby, Super
man.
Bowl.
And go Packers when you get healthy.
No, never.
And plug yourselves one more time. When, where?
I'm
everything.
Ian. I like the color green.
All right, let me plug.
Oh,
you're terrible.
Oh,
at
the
this.
show.
Oh, yeah.
I thought individual. All right, go ahead.
Joe Shmoe Radio. You can find us at iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, and soon to be
HBO.
Pandora.
Oh.
HBO too.
Oh, Pandora.
You can find us on HBO.
Oh, okay.
You can watch it. There's nothing to watch. But you can watch it.
But we do a screening process. If you're not cool, like don't listen to us at all.
Don't listen to us.
Yeah.
We hate you.
Yeah.
We don't want you to listen to the opposite of us. Listen to Shmoe Joe Radio.
That's weird. Wait, what they actually exist? You're giving a free shout out.
Cut that out. Edit.
Listen to our show.
No, but you can also listen to us at Joe Shmoe. Shmoe is spelled SHMOE radio.buzzsprout.com. That's Joe Shmoe Radio.
Just go on Facebook and find us.
Buzzsprout.com. Thanks, Ian, for interrupting my plug.
Okay.
So thank you guys again for being here. Check out all the rest of the episodes.
Any day, man.
Absolutely, man. Check out everything else on MBN Network, mbnnetwork.com.
Might be news, baby.
I'm Taylor Cooper. We'll see you guys next time.